What's up, guys? This is SanchoWest alongside my co-host, Dr. Bacon, and this is the CheckPoint
Amigos
show. And yes, here we are live in Los Angeles. Beautiful sunny day, looking at a lemon tree. And here we are, episode 13.
Lucky 13.
Lucky 13. This is the weekly CheckPoint save for your nerdy lives. For those of you new, this is not normally a video podcast. This is the first time that we're finally on camera. So please don't shy away and please don't unsubscribe. Because we're pretty people. Please.
Well, somewhat pretty. One of us is pretty.
So, for those of you new, this is a weekly podcast show where we talk about all the nudie.
That's a different podcast.
Hey man, this is, since we're on video, we can't edit that out. We can't edit it out. We're going balls to the wall live.
Bowels to the wall?
That's right. I'm from Texas. For those of you new, this is the weekly CheckPoint save for your nerdy lives. As I said before, we have the big save, which is a nerdy, big, meaty topic, and then we have the Checkly, man, I'm all messed up. And then we have the Checkly weekly. I'm messed up, man. I'm all messed up. And then I have the weekly news, which covers all of the news that happened throughout the week. And then we have Next Level, which covers things that we want to talk about for you to check out. And then we have the Old Save, which is our wrap-up segment for you to, you know, things that we are doing, things that we recommend. Man, it is a lot harder with the camera here. So before we begin, I'm very excited, and thank you guys so much for being very supportive during the dark times of just nothing but trailers. But as you can see, we are nerds. We got stuff here to prove it. I think that's what you're supposed to do, right?
I think so.
Yeah, we're doing it right. We're supposed to do
Found
it.
all these in a dumpster bin.
Yeah.
Behind a comic book shop, yeah.
Yeah. We got Doctor Who.
We've got Blue Box, we've got Yellow Guy, cool guy with the gun. I think it's James Bond. James Bond's little brother here, and the Jolly Green Giant. So yeah, we're covered.
Nice. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into the big things that happened this week.
What's going on, Sancho?
Well, this is the big save. This is the thing that you need to lock in your memory forever. That's why we call it the big save. So, one of the big things that happened this week that you brought to my attention, of course, anyone would have been able to see this, even if you're inside of a rock in the darkest corners of the depth of the galaxy.
Even then, you'd still know about this.
Rogue One came out. Rogue One was
trailer. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Rogue One is a standalone Star Wars film that does not feature any of the Skywalkers. Thank goodness, because I was sick of that. Okay, we get it. We get it. The dark side revolves around Darth Vader. It revolves around Luke Skywalker. It revolves around the Emperor. But I love the Star Wars.
The Emperor's not a Skywalker.
He is a Skywalker. I understand that, but I'm excited because this whole thing, Star Wars is a cool universe in its general.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you like about the trailer?
Everything. I'm happy with a plucky new female lead. Again, I don't understand all the hate against that. I got no problems with it. But for those of you who hate it, I'd like to point out something maybe you have to look forward to. As they said in A New Hope, Mon Mothma says, many Bothans died to bring us this information. Maybe everyone in this side story is a Bothan, and maybe most of them, if not all of them, are going to die.
Well, the thing that I'm interested in is that, of course, Felicity Jones is in it, and she's pretty cool.
Yeah.
She fits the role. Diego Luna's in it, and I'm a big fan of Diego Luna.
At first, I thought it was Poe Dameron.
No.
And then I was like, wait, no, that's a different timeline. No, it's not him.
Mm-hmm. And
he looks good.
He looks good. He looks cool as a captain in the Rebel Alliance. And the whole thing, the whole trailer opens up with her getting, like interrogated by the rebels, and they're
kind of interrogated / recruited,
and they're on Yavin 4, which is
obviously
pretty cool.
obviously,
which is pretty cool because I do with the white,
the funky outfits.
Yeah, the funky. Remember, like it's like in the Yavin 4, that guy in the outpost, he's like sitting up there, he's like
pew pew,
gotcha. That Family Guy thing.
Yeah.
So it opens up. Look, I just want to let everybody know the spoilers in this is that they're going to get the Death Star plans.
I don't know.
Come on. Come on. It eventually happens because that's what this whole build-up is for that happening, that they find the plans and they... And
I like how, on top of that, it's essentially going to be our first sci-fi heist movie.
Yeah, a thriller of sorts.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with that. What's really cool is that it actually sticks with the tone that J.J. Abrams kind of set up. Like, they kind of look like they're in the same universe, like in terms of cinematically.
A lot of practical effects, too.
A lot of practical effects. The DP looks the same, almost feels it has that same sheen to it. And the acting seems on the same level, so there's not like a jarring granted, we don't know what episode 8 is going to come out in terms of how that's going to look when it comes to, the the Looper director, how that's going to look.
Yeah.
But overall, I agree. It's going to look cool. And just to see familiar things in new settings is the best part of this trailer.
I'm hoping for one thing that the original trilogy always had me curious about. I want to see a gonk droid in action.
What do they look like?
It's the trash can looking droid.
Oh.
It's a GNK droid, and they call it a gonk droid because that was in the original trilogy. That's the sound made gonk, and walk around, and all he did was walk around. But I want to see one of those in action because you see it in the trailer, and I would just like to see one actually. What does it do other than walk around going gonk? And I'm really curious about the sidekick droid.
Right.
In that trailer.
Yeah.
Is it a battle droid? That's what rumor says. It's a battle droid.
It does have a back piece of a stormtrooper. So and he looks very mobile.
Yeah.
He was running.
He was running.
Yeah, he was running full speed. So that's going to be. It's interesting that a lot of sci-fi movies have this formula where there's always a sidekick droid or a sidekick alien of some sort that could be trying to understand the human thing. We'll see about that, but there's a lot of things as well that when I'm talking about familiar things, to seeing the AT-ATs or the AT-ATs, whatever you want to call them.
Imperial
Walkers, seeing them on the beach, and they're not the traditional Hoth-looking ones. They're kind of skewed, maybe like an early version of the Imperial Walker, so that's kind of cool to see.
Oh, I didn't notice that. They look the same to me.
A little bit different.
Okay.
A little bit different. Also seeing the X-Wing in the background that Yavin 4, all those settings. Of course, Moth back again. And the actress, whoever they find, it looks just like her, which is a young version of it. It's kind of interesting.
I'm going to go on not a side rant, but a little side quest on this. The X-Wings.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know there's also A-Wings, B-Wings, and Y-Wings. Where were they in Force Awakens? There were nothing but X-Wings.
There's nothing but X-Wings, so it's interesting. I mean,
sorry to go off.
I wondered maybe they didn't want to bring those in because they wanted to keep it simple.
I wonder if they're waiting on them to show maybe they have newer models of that too.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's and something that's not necessarily addressed in the film, but it could be something like, oh, the rebellion just doesn't have enough money.
Yeah, that's a good thing. One thing that I did like about this trailer is that what ended up the prequels got kind of too crazy about was the lightsabers. The prequels had too many Jedi. I mean, I know the Jedi were everywhere, and I get it, but those fight sequences where I always enjoyed that the lightsaber battle always happened at the end. Yeah. And then in terms of episode 2, episode 3, there were just lightsaber battles everywhere.
Yeah, I somewhat disagree with you. I think episode 2, Attack of the Clones, that was too many.
Right.
Because there was no real lightsaber battle.
It wasn't special.
No, it wasn't really special.
I mean, Yoda's battle was okay.
And then episode 3, Yoda's fight. That was an actual lightsaber duel in episode 2. That's what people want. They don't want to see lightsabers deflecting blaster bolts.
Yeah,
but in episode 3,
you had Ben Kenobi.
Those 3 Jedi with Mace against Palpatine, that was kind of a waste.
That's the thing, we want to see Jedi kick ass. So what I'm assuming what's going to happen in this movie is that I'm excited because the Felicity Jones character, she has the nightsticks, the batons. She's going to fight with those. And of course,
and the samurai.
Right, the legend Donnie Yen is in this movie, the Ip Man. So he's a blind man, and
he's blind. I didn't catch that.
Well, yeah, you didn't see he's holding a stick and he's looking straight ahead. And in the photo, the stills I think
he didn't seem blind to me.
I think he's a blind warrior of some sort, which makes sense. And then he just ends up kicking everyone's ass with the bow staff.
I wonder with how awesome he is at a bow staff. I wonder if maybe he's an ex-Jedi.
Possibly, because what they in the Clone Wars in the animated series, they were talking about how the thought of being blind helps you connect a little bit with the Force.
Right, and they actually did that on the season finale of Star Wars Rebels.
Right. That's what I was talking about. Right.
Yeah.
So that thing with him being blind, is because you remember the scene he's surrounded and there's some stormtroopers in the background and they're kind of passively looking around and he's just they stop him in a patrol and he just bow staffs the hell out of everybody. Well, so what I'm saying is I'm excited to have normal combat in this game. In this movie, one of my favorite games in the Star Wars universe was Star Wars Republic Commando. That game was awesome. In the game, it came out around the Xbox days.
I don't remember that one.
In this game, you take control of an elite force of stormtroopers or Republic Commandos, and each of them has a role, daily mission and whatnot. But you took control and you kind of like did these missions, like special ops missions, but in the Star Wars universe. And that's awesome. And what I see in this movie, you have all the different kind of stormtroopers. You have the camo stormtroopers. You have the green stormtroopers. You have the shadow troopers. You have all these troopers. And
there was some like beige looking troopers.
Right. And then what's awesome in by far one of my favorite actors in movies today is Forrest Whitaker. And Forrest Whitaker is in this movie.
I'm very curious to see how he's going to fit in.
I am excited for Forrest Whitaker.
I'm very much looking forward to it. I don't know about excited, because he doesn't strike me as a person who would fit. But that's just because of the way I was raised. I'm pretty sure he's going to knock it out of the park.
Have you seen him in Ghost Dog?
I love his acting. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. He just didn't strike me as someone who would play a character that would fit in the Star Wars universe. But I hope and look forward to be proven wrong.
One thing that in the trailer itself, we didn't bring this up in the beginning, but it starts off with the stupid piano thing again. Why?
Ding.
Yeah, why does it do that?
Oh, maybe it was an accident. Maybe the editor, when he saw it finally televised, it went ding. Oh, I forgot to take that out.
No. Well, I like how they blend in the Imperial March with the Star Wars trailer. It's kind of like, again, like I love Jedi, I love Skywalker, but there's so many things happening in the galaxy while all this is going down. So there's speculation that Darth Vader is going to be in this.
Yeah.
There's rumors that because he did a voice recording.
And he was present at the building of the Death Star.
Right. And in terms of casting, they had stuntmen casted for Darth Vader. So who knows Darth Vader? Because, of course, it's not going to be like an early version of Darth. It will be Darth Vader.
Right.
And we'll get to see that. And, of course, they show some cloth figure at the royal throne. We don't know who it is.
Oh, yeah.
We don't know if he's.
We don't even know if it's a royal throne, but we know.
Well, there's Imperial guards or royal guards there.
There's the royal guards there, but it looks like some kind of like energy thing in the middle.
Right.
So, yeah.
What we do know is that there's going to be a lot of bounty hunters, but they're actually working for the rebels too. So we'll see what's going to happen.
Which is what I think Forrest Whitaker's going to be.
Right. Forrest Whitaker is probably. I don't think he's a Boba. What is Boba Fett's?
Mandalorian.
Yeah, I don't think he's a man. He's dressed like one though. He kind of has armor like him, but he just doesn't have his helmet.
It didn't strike me as Mandalorian armor.
No. He's very.
I could be wrong.
I could be wrong. All these kind of, again, seeing these vast secondary universe is pretty cool and reminds me of Shadows of the Empire. Did you ever play that game?
I didn't, but oh wait, no, I'm thinking of a PC game.
You're thinking of Dark Empire.
Yeah, Dark Empire is what I'm thinking of. No, Shadows of the Empire I played.
Yeah,
they had a nod to that deleted scene with the Wampas on Hoth.
Right, and they had the knockoff Millennium Falcon. I don't know what it was.
Something Dagger.
That was the guy's name. Or no, yeah, that was the ship's name. Something like that. Regardless, this is going to be a lot of different Star Wars universe standalone films that's going to come out. Of course, they talk about a Boba Fett movie is going to come out. Also, young Han Solo is going to come out. There's rumors.
Possibly a Yoda.
There's rumors that Han Solo will be in this movie. There's people are speculating that Poe's dad's going to be in this movie. What I want to know is where's Porkins at? I want Porkins.
I want Wedge.
Wedge is probably by far the most underrated pilot in the Red Squadron.
So for the guy who's the best pilot, yeah.
Right. He's the best pilot, and
but the underrated character, I guess.
I think so as well. Yeah. And then like at the same time, like it was always cool to see the pilots. I always love the pilots in general, all the camaraderie they have, and I want to see more of that. And of course, like you said earlier, this whole spy espionage thing sounds fantastic to me.
Yeah,
fantastic. Anything to wrap up Rogue One's trailer?
Not necessarily to wrap up Rogue One, but I think that in honor of Star Wars, we should have a moment of silence for the passing of Tim Rose, who
Admiral Akbar,
the voice of Admiral Akbar. Yes, and I'm sorry, not Tim Rose. Eric Bowersfeld. Tim Rose did the physical embodiment. Eric Bowersfeld, he did the voice. So,
sure.
May the Force be with you.
Moving on to the next topic there, Dr. Bacon. I'm going to bring this up a bit. The Uncharted 4 Madagascar demo came out. Now, this was...
You checked it out, right?
I didn't check it out. I didn't check it out officially. I was not invited as... and I wasn't invited. Not yet. One day I'll get to that point to get inside to the single player of the Uncharted. But they invited a bunch of influencers. There was a media day at a hotel in Los Angeles. And they showed off about 15, 20 minutes of Chapter 12, chapter 11, something like that, called the 12 Towers.
Oh, okay.
And in this demo, you see Nathan Drake, Sam Drake, which is Nathan's brother, and then you see Sully, and they're in this Jeep going through Madagascar plains in the mountains. And we're gonna do a quick little breakdown about it, and I'll talk to Dr. Bacon about it.
Go for it.
What you see, Dr. Bacon, is that the Jeep itself is awesome. Like the details in this game is going to be ridiculous. And what they're doing is it's an evolution of what Uncharted 4 was in The Last of Us, and it's this whole evolving, so to speak, of the game as Naughty Dog developers. You kind of see this as well in the multiplayer, how The Last of Us influences the Uncharted 4's multiplayer, as you see a lot of elements. And so now, considering Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley are the head creators of this game, or head designers, or the creative directors of this game, you're seeing a lot of influences from The Last of Us here, in a sense of that the characters have a lot of side conversations, just randomly. Like they're talking.
I like that.
Yeah, like they're in the Jeep, and Sam and Sully will just talk while you're off doing some kind of excavating or climbing up a thing. You hear Sam and Sully having side conversations that are triggered by random events. I'm not quite sure how random they are, but in The Last of Us, there was a lot of people love the moments of,
like when she'd find the joke book.
Right, Joel and Ellie talking randomly and talking about puns and all those kinds of things. So you can see a lot of that thing. And also the enemies themselves are going to have those conversations. So those things of branching out is an element in The Last of Us. One of the things that Naughty Dog said in the demo is called wide linear. What they're talking about is like the game is a linear game.
Right.
Because in this demo is Nate and Sully and Sam, they pull up to this tower watch filled with enemies, and it kind of has this Metal Gear Phantom Pain vibe, where it's this open world, and it's like Far Cry, where you have to take out this tower, and you could take it out as any way as possible. You could do stealth, you could go loud, it's whatever you want. And a lot of people are having issues with that, or in terms of the Uncharted purists, because it's not a linear game. What I say to that is that Uncharted series has always been about attacking something the way you want, but instead of being confined in what I like to call arena monster closets, where you go to a place and then you have to take out all the dudes and then you move on.
Right. Instead,
they just present to you a buffet of how you want to take out the enemies.
You and your food analogies.
I'm hungry. And so this presentation, wide linear, so for me is like the level's going to start off like that, right? Mm-hmm. And it's going to branch out, and then you could do whatever you want, and then it's going to close up like that, wide, and then it goes back to linear. So that kind of shape in terms of gameplay will make everybody's experience in Uncharted different.
Okay.
Which is cool, because you might find something, a side story that you didn't hear, or you might find a different way to take out an enemy. So that's the whole demo itself in a nutshell. In that the car itself, it's really weird. They figured out how to do puzzles with a car, and so you have to get up to certain places, and you have to use your winch to.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so like you have
nice.
To. So it's what's crazy is that the amount of detail in this, where they take this winch and you have to really physically take it up.
Any product placement with Jeep?
Well, I think it is a Jeep, and you have to ring it around the trunk of a tree, and then you have to physically go and it'll clatch onto it. But what's cool in this little moment in the demo is he puts it on the tree, is that you could either go back down the stairs or you could just slide down the mud hill. And I think that in a nutshell is what Naughty Dog is telling you.
Yeah.
That you could play this game however you want, but it's going to still funnel you down in a certain direction.
That's cool.
There's not going to be multiple endings. There's not going to be
same destination, but your journey is yours.
Right. There's not going to be a true ending. There's not going to be a false ending. There's going to be the ending. It's just how you get there is different, because it brings variety into it. But overall, it looks gorgeous. It's going to be in 1080p at 30 frames per second, but they did that so they could put as much detail as possible. And there's rumors that it's going to be the longest Uncharted 4 game. And I could kind of agree based on where it's going. Just the idea, for those who don't know, in Uncharted 2, their train level. You remember that level in the train?
I never played any of them.
Okay, in Uncharted 2, there's this train, and how most video game companies, when they make a train, they just build out the train and then make the train is stationary, and then they make the background go by.
Okay.
But what they did with Uncharted 2 was they made the actual whole train track, and you're actually going down a certain track. So they build out the whole level. So that was rare for them to do. So for Uncharted 4, what you see is going to be a huge level. It's not going to be like some fake backdrop. I bet
you can actually get to whatever you see in the distance.
I'm not saying like it will actually get you there, but you could imagine that they built it out all the way to there because that's how crazy they are. They're really perfectionists. Yeah. One thing that I want to bring up that you reminded me about is about draw distance and point of view point of view or peripheral, all this kind of stuff in terms of Naughty Dog is very clever about guiding you toward things without giving you a waypoint. You will never see like a waypoint in the distance, like a diamond or anything like that.
Oh, wow.
You'll never see that. You didn't see it in The Last of Us. You won't see it in Uncharted.
Oh, yeah, good point. Well, in The Last of Us, there was a little ding that made you look where to go.
Right.
It didn't tell you specifically, but it made you look like, oh, I need to go in that direction.
Yeah, like Naughty Dog is very clever at using camera to pull you in, using architecture to tell you where to go. They love using birds to tell you where to go. You see birds fly off, and you kind of like track them. You see, oh, I got to go over there. They love using distance, putting like a tower, and they know like, oh, you got to go through there. Or they use characters, dialogue, like, what's that over there? Let's go ahead and check that out. So that happened, and I'm very stoked about seeing Uncharted 4 in action, and that was only just a sliver of it. And I didn't even get to talk about the action. The action itself is cool because you could swing, you could take out towers, you could take out as many guys as you want, you could take out nobody. It's going to be awesome, man.
Okay.
It's going to be awesome, and I will do a breakdown of this, a video breakdown for the Uncharted 4 hype series, so that way you get to see exactly what I'm talking about versus just me talking, so to speak, about it. But in terms of other Uncharted 4 news, at that same media event, they talked to Neil Druckmann. He said that the Last of Us movie is in production hell.
Right.
There's no way they're going to be able to get that out because of rewrites and whatnot. But they say it's still live, but who knows? In terms of the Uncharted 4 movie, they said it's still slated for June 2017. I doubt that's going to happen.
Not at this point.
Or 2006, something like that. It's not going to happen. Also, in terms of the talks itself, they said that there won't be any more Donut Drake. No more big guy Donut Drake, which was a skin that you could put on to replay the game as this big bloated Drake.
Oh, wow. I didn't know about that.
So they took him out because of, I guess, for PC reasons. But, it's whatever. I mean, it doesn't break the game for me, the experience. They said that they matured. Neil Druckmann said we matured as designers, so that's why we took out the fat Drake or Donut Drake, which is cool. I mean, whatever. It's nothing to get hung up on because I think this game is going to be, as I said earlier, the first ever truly PlayStation 4 experience, your next gen experience that we've always wanted. And just to think that there's no load times almost, it's like it's seamless into cinematics. It's just nuts, man.
So it's probably going to do all the loading at the beginning like Last of Us did.
I guess.
That was a long preload.
It was a cool credit scene, though.
Yeah.
It was a cool credit scene.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, time will tell, and I will do my best to cover it for you guys as much as possible. And I always appreciate you guys' support on all those videos. But that's my meaty topic that I wanted to talk about in Uncharted 4. A lot of cool things are happening.
Yes, that's
for
correct.
For all the nerds out. This is a good time for us to be around. So to catch you up on all those kinds of things, we're going to do the checkpoint, the weekly checkpoint save, and we're going to talk about all the weekly news. Let me go ahead and bring out my little boop, 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 iPad.
Is that what it's called? A boop, 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 boop iPad?
Yes, it is.
It's like a special edition version, huh?
You know what we did?
What did we do?
We did last Sunday.
I mean, I know what we did.
Yeah,
I'm asking on behalf of the audience.
I like what you said. I like that. So last Sunday, we were recording right before WrestleMania. Now, don't go, audience. We're going to talk about WrestleMania for a bit. Just for a little bit. Just for a little bit. WrestleMania 32 happened in Dallas, Texas. We're in an attendance record for WrestleMania, over 101,000. Anyway, what were your thoughts about this? Because Dr. Bacon here left wrestling in the sense that he just stopped watching altogether. So I just wanted to know, as someone coming back into it, just see what were your thoughts on it?
I had a good time. I found it very enjoyable. In the past WrestleManias that I had seen when I was little and throughout college, it wasn't what I expected from a WrestleMania, but it was a good wrestling event. I did enjoy it. I had a good time. I think overall only 2, maybe 3 events were WrestleMania caliber.
What matches?
The ladies.
The Divas.
Yes, the Divas.
Well, now the women's champion, but former Divas, yes.
Shane against Undertaker.
Shane O'Mac.
Shane O'Mac, always with the high-risk maneuvers. And Maybe it was just those two.
The ladder match?
The ladder match was close. But
like the New Day match?
The New Day was awesome.
Yeah.
But I thought they were pay-per-view quality.
Right.
I thought their intro
was cool.
Was WrestleMania quality.
Coming out of the big box of bootios.
Yeah, but the match itself, them and the ladder match, I thought were pay-per-view quality, but not WrestleMania
did you like
quality.
Triple H versus Roman Reigns?
I did.
Okay.
But it seemed more like a Raw match.
Oh, okay. And what about Brock Lesnar versus Dean Ambrose?
It was a match.
Yeah, that's it, right?
That's pretty much it.
He did not like Brock Lesnar's Suplex City.
I'm a fan of Brock, but only so much. He's a little too one note for me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
he's a one-trick pony that they're trying to milk.
Right.
And he's
very talented.
He's got a weird charisma.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it charisma, but I do continue to watch him.
Overall, my thoughts on WrestleMania it was just weird. I predicted that something awesome is going to happen and something dumb is going to happen, but unfortunately...
And I lost $5 to you.
You did, because I told you John Cena was going to come out.
Yeah.
I told you.
I didn't want to... I took the bet against you because you had already said he was injured. I'm like, why is the guy going to show up? He was injured,
but I figured...
I didn't know it was WrestleMania storyline.
That was my biggest problem with it. Like, I love The Rock. He's cool and all, but that was such the most circle-jerky entrance of all time. I'm sorry, man. I was like... He comes out with the flamethrower.
No. I think part of it, you told me that a lot of their A-listers were out on injury.
Yes, I know.
So I think they wanted to celebrate their big numbers, but they wanted to do it with a high-profile wrestler.
Well, here's the thing. The problem is that we all were promised a better WrestleMania because they were trying to set up...
I didn't know we were.
Well,
they didn't deliver.
Well, yeah, let me tell you what they were doing. Like, last WrestleMania, they had The Rock and Ronda Rousey, going up against Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. And there was a speculation that The Rock was going to fight Triple H at WrestleMania, which I would have loved to see that old school match again. But what ended up happening was The Rock started doing movies,
right,
and he got very popular, and his movie shooting schedule prevented him to wrestle, which was weird that they did that 6-second match for him to get that stupid record against Eric Rowan. Why bury the Wyatts? I mean, anyway.
I don't think they needed to do that.
I didn't need to do that.
I thought it was a good sell. It was a good
cool
promo, but I don't think they needed the match itself.
So all they did was use The Rock to come out.
Just set it up.
Right. They just brought The Rock out to announce of the record attending breaking whatever. And then he comes out, and then the Wyatts come out. And I'm like, this is a waste of the Wyatts. And then as soon as the Wyatts came out, I knew John Cena was going to come out because they're past. And I just felt all that.
You cheated. You had insider info.
I just knew all that stuff was shoehorned, man. Like, I don't understand why Stone Cold...
It's like I said, it was pay-per-view stuff, but it wasn't WrestleMania quality.
Like, why Stone Cold Steve Austin, HBK, and Mick Foley have to come out to fight the League of Nations, and then Stone Cold Stone...
I thought that was a better match than some of the matches.
That's the thing. Like, it didn't make sense. Like, the booking was terrible. It just didn't make sense. There's a couple things that could have done. Yeah. I don't mind Roman Reigns winning the belt, whatever makes the WWE universe happy, but it didn't make them happy, by the way. But... The Undertaker. See, that's the thing. Like, we were promised that they were setting up for things like Sting versus Undertaker, but Sting got hurt and Sting retired. Yeah. So that was gonna happen. And then there was rumors that Brock Lesnar was gonna fight Stone Cold, but then Stone Cold didn't want to do it because Stone Cold's neck, his injury, which I understand. Yeah. But then there were rumors that Brock would have fought Shawn Michaels. Something like that would have been much better than what we got. That's all my thoughts on that. That's my WrestleMania. We could go all day on. I could go all day on that, but I will spare you. All right, let's go on to the nerdy news because that's not nerdy. I think wrestling
they're sports nerds.
They're sports nerds.
It's a nerdy for sports.
Batman versus Superman, your favorite topic.
Oh, boy.
We talk about this all the time.
I tried not to bring up anything Batman v Superman.
Here we go. I got good news for you.
He found all the topics. I was like, son of a gun.
I got good for you. There are a lot of reports, a lot of conflicting reports, but I want to talk about this one. Batman vs. Superman let down, Warner Brothers will reportedly release fewer films. According to a Hollywood Reporter, following the latest disappointment, Warner Brothers is planning to scale back the amount of films they release in a given year to focus on their core franchises in an effort to improve the success of their release date. Warner Brothers, which is an old-fashioned movie studio, they're not in a theme park business like Disney or Universal. They make movies, and that's what they do. And the article goes on to say that critics who saw in the film praised Tom. I'm sorry, hold on. I was reading the other article, the other good news, because this is still bad news.
And while you're reading that, I beg to differ. Warner Brothers has a presence in Six Flags.
So, and the article wraps it up that it has been a disappointment year for the studio of Warner Brothers. They had expensive flops like Pan, In the Heart of the Sea, Jupiter Ascending, and then became Batman versus Superman. I'm sorry.
It's all about point of view. Like you said, they're all conflicting arguments, but everyone's reporting the same thing. They're just choosing what to focus on. Oh, it was a letdown because it went down 80%.
Yeah.
Other people are like, no, it's doing great because we're still number one in the box office. We beat 500 million. Oh, it's got horrible reviews. Don't go see this. Oh, it's got great reviews. You need to go see this. So depending on who you read, you're essentially getting the same information. Just whether or not it's bad or good is up to you.
Let's talk about other movies out
Let's
there.
talk about comic book movies.
Yeah, let's keep that up. Let's talk about
Sancho.
Marvel.
Yes.
Now,
we haven't forgotten about Marvel.
No, we haven't. So, for those of you who don't know, Marvel is already screening Captain America: Civil War. They're already screening it. Early reviews saying they all love it. And there's a lot of people that love it. They said it's the best.
I was expecting as much because it's pretty much the same team that was behind Winter Soldier.
Yeah. That they saying that there's a lot of good superhero fights. They said Spider-Man's great. They say Black Panther's great. And because that Spider-Man is doing so well, they have a news report here from Entertainment Weekly that Marvel Studios characters will join Spider-Man in standalone movies. You can count on
just as cameos, though.
Yeah. We all know the web slinger will make a sizable appearance in Marvel Studios' film Captain America: Civil War, but it has been unclear if some of those heroes could share the screen with Peter Parker in his own standalone movie set for next year. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige, right? Feige?
I thought it was Feige.
Feige.
How about we just call him Kevin F?
Kevin said,
there you go.
Like we all, Big Dog Kev, told EW, yes, not only does Spider-Man end up helping Iron Man in Civil War, but the plan is for some Marvel Cinematic Universe
StarWars.
Thank you, to appear in Spider-Man's films. He is in the universe now, and the fun of the universe is that characters can go back and forth.
We are going a step in the right direction.
Yes, Sony Pictures is rebooting the character in an Untitled Spider-Man film with Tom Holland as Peter Parker, set for release July 7, 2017. So good news. Good news.
Yeah.
Okay, look, guys, we're not any fanboys of anything. We're all happy. We're happy that these things are happening for everybody, right?
We're fanboys.
We're fanboys of everything.
Yeah.
Of good things. But we do enjoy bad things. Yeah. Other things that are coming down the Marvel pipe. Marvel Netflix announced She-Hulk, Cloak and Dagger, not the one that we talk about. Not that awesome movie set in San Antonio. Bullseye and Elektra series to follow the Defenders. This just in. Marvel and Netflix have announced that all after the fallout from the Defenders will be seeing a new set of superheroes and villains gracing the small screen. When the dust settles and the heroes are gone, She-Hulk, Cloak and Dagger, Bullseye, and Elektra are all going to be busy in Hell's Kitchen. Though clearly not all of them will have the populace best interests at heart. As with the prior set of series before these, we do not have a lot of details, but we do know that things don't look good for all of our heroes as the Defenders come to a close.
Now, the problem with this, they're all Marvel,
yes,
but they're not all going to be on Netflix. For example, Cloak and Dagger is going to be on ABC's sort of spin-off channel, Freeform, which used to be ABC Family.
Oh, good. I mean, I don't know anything about Cloak and Dagger anyway.
So, all that aside, to have anything on ABC Family, it's very G-rated.
Is it crap? Cloak and Dagger crap?
No, Cloak and Dagger may end up being crap because for those of you not familiar with Cloak and Dagger, there have been different iterations, but the current one is they're teens who got their power through a genetic splicing of heroin.
Okay, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, and I'm worried about it. If it were on Netflix, I could easily see them like spinning it in some kind of way and make it super awesome, like Jessica Jones or Daredevil. But on Freeform, gonna be weird.
Well, good news is Doctor Strange trailer comes out Tuesday.
That's right, on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
I hate that they do that though. Meh.
He's good at getting those exclusives.
Benedict Cumberbatch. He looks cool in that outfit.
He does. He looks great.
Cool. So more casting news, sticking with the movie world. We're still good on the camera. We're still good on the camera, ladies and gentlemen. Charlize Theron joins Fast 8. Charlize Theron has officially joined the cast of Fast 8, the next installment in the Universal's long-running Fast and Furious franchise, according to Variety. Details behind the role are vague, but she's expected to be playing some sort of a villain. The studio wanted the star early for the role, but because the script has still being written, Theron did not want to commit to saying anything until the finished draft was completed. Even after the script was finished by Chris Morgan and Theron was happy with the end result, she still had to weigh her options as the actress was also attached to Sony's spy thriller The Gray Man, which is considered a huge franchise opportunity for Theron and Sony. Insiders say since the Gray Man script was originally intended for a man, Sony had the script rewritten. Because of delays in delivering a brand new script, Theron's schedule opened up, eventually leading to 2 talks with the party, and now she is in Fast 8, which is slated to come out April 14th, 2017, starring Vin Diesel, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Tyrese Gibson, Michelle Rodriguez will reprise all their roles.
My prediction, she's going to be the villain who ends up becoming an ally.
I mean, I get it. I mean, what
It happened with Rock. It happened with Statham.
I mean, well, Rock was a cop, though. But with Fast and Furious franchises, it feels like...
Or they're antagonists, not villain.
I feel like every time, like, oh, you drive a cool car in a movie? You're in this movie. So, like, anytime you could drive a cool car, you're in the... So that means David Hasselhoff is going to eventually show up. The Hoffman.
Don't.
Please do that. Dude, Knight Rider showed up in the Fast and Furious? Come on.
If Kit showed up.
No.
If Kit showed up,
Hoff.
yes.
I want the Hoff.
I would take the Hoff if he
then,
got some acting lessons.
And then Tom Selleck shows up.
Which is not to say he's a bad actor. He's not good at delivering serious
and then
stuff.
Burt Reynolds shows up. And
Burt Reynolds, yes.
See?
I'm all about that.
See?
Yeah. Hear the Cannonball Run theme music?
Yeah.
Wow, nobody knows what we're talking about with Cannonball Run.
You know what?
I don't think you've even seen Cannonball Run.
Yeah, of course I have.
Okay, sorry.
I'm not quite sure if anyone's seen this, though. Maybe. Speedy Gonzalez. Eyed as an animated feature at Warner Brothers. This comes, see, I'm not quite sure where I got this article, but I pulled it from somewhere. Exclusive. The Rack Pack is back. The fastest mouse in all of Mexico may be on its way to the big screen. Speedy Gonzalez, the beloved Looney Tunes mouse, who can outrun the fastest of cats, and whose arriba, arriba, andale, andale cry has all Saturday morning staple for kids growing up in the 1960s, is being eyed as an animated feature for Warner Brothers with Mexico's own beloved filmmaker, actor Eugenio Derbez, voicing the mouse. In Mexico, quote, he says, we grew up watching Speedy Gonzalez. As he told Deadline, he was like a superhero to us, or maybe more of like a revolutionary like Simon Bolivar or Pancho Villa. He watched out for the little people, but not with a lot of bravado and weakness for the ladies. I'm really excited to bring in this character to the big screen. Besides being Mexican, my full name is Eugenio Derbez Gonzalez, and I have big ears, so the casting couldn't be any better.
And you don't have it on here, but I did read a rumor on who the villain is, and it's going to be
Slowpoke Rodriguez.
Donald Trump.
Oh, come on.
I kid. I'm funny.
No. Terrible.
It's not going to be him. He likes Mexicans. I've got the best Mexicans. I've got tons of Mexicans.
Why you gotta go political on this show? This whole time,
I wasn't going political. I was going humor because it's humorous to make fun of him. Whether or not he's in the campaign or not, it's funny to make fun of him.
I had this rated G question for you right afterwards.
Well, let's go to it. What's your question for me, Sancho?
Who do you think is going to be an awesome Looney Tunes standalone character to bring apart?
I would love to see Marvin the Martian.
Damn it, that was my...
That was your answer? What about Tasmanian Devil?
No.
You know who else? I can't believe
you took mine. It was a good one. I'm excited for this movie.
No. You can have Marvin the Martian.
I don't want it anymore.
I want to see Yosemite Sam.
Another crazy Texan type of guy. Who
him and Foghorn Leghorn going on a road trip. Or a wagon trip, I guess.
To go see Donald Trump. Like it.
Hey.
I like it. All right, sticking with the nostalgia train that we're going on.
Let's go with the nostalgia train.
Let's do this. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out still has secrets. 29 years later, there's a new tale that they discovered. This comes from Polygon. Nearly 30 years after Mike Tyson's Punch-Out launched on the Nintendo's entertainment system, gamers are still discovering secrets inside. As a Redditor, Midwestern Housewives discovered. This is the day and age where you can... There's a visual cue among the spectators in the second Piston-Honda fight, which tells the players when to throw a punch that knocks Honda out with one blow. A one-punch KO of Honda has been known for years, though gamers were left to guess exactly when the window is open during the special attack. Now it is clear. Just watch the bearded guy in the front row about 7 over for the left. So essentially, this bearded guy makes a face, a pixel, and lets you know like when to throw out the punch.
He does a weird nod.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. That's kind of cool.
It is cool. Did you ever beat the game?
Hell no.
How far did you get?
To Mike Tyson.
You got all the way to Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
I could not get that far.
Mike Tyson knocks you out in one punch.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
The farthest I could get was Soda Popinski or Popsinski.
That's the first dude.
No, the first guy is
That's
Glass
Joe.
Joe.
Then that's like the second dude.
No, Soda Popsinski was like third to last. It was him, then Mr. Sandman, then Mike Tyson.
I like Mr. Sandman.
Yeah, don't question me on the order, son. It was Glass Joe, the German dude. The German dude was second.
Keep going.
Piston Honda, then, or was it Bald Bull? I've already lost the order. But Bald Bull was in there. King Hippo. Yeah, Soda Popsinski wasn't till he was in the major circuit.
Okay, we'll see. Next story: Judge Dredd will fight aliens and predators in a crazy new crossover comic. 3 of the most iconic sci-fi franchises in history are meeting up once again in the Dark Horse latest crossover comic, the aptly titled Predator versus Judge Dredd versus Aliens. Want to know more about Dredd's latest adventure? They sat down with the writer John Layman to discuss what makes the series so perfect for crossovers. Related today as part of Dark Horse's currently ongoing Emerald City Comic-Con panel, Predator vs. Judge Dredd vs. Aliens comes from a layman and artist Chris Moneyham. So P versus JD versus A sees Judge Dredd and Anderson on the hunt for rogue genetic scientist who has gotten his hands on a xenomorph skull in the hopes of creating his own breed of the deadliest creature in the galaxy. Sounds pretty awesome.
It's gonna be awesome. People are gonna make fan films about this, and I can't wait to see that.
I think my
challenge issued.
That was my favorite fan film with Batman. That was cool. Remember
versus Predator with the guy from Growing Pains. I don't want to say his name because it's not very PG.
Yeah, he was in it, and then
he was the best visually speaking Joker.
Yeah,
but worst performance of a Joker.
I remember that was an awesome thing, or like Batman landing in that puddle and he stands up.
Yeah.
And then he fought
Clark Bartram.
Right, and then he fought that awesome Predator, and then at the end the aliens show up, and he's like, "Bring it on!" And he goes crazy. Yeah. That was nice.
That Clark Bartram, for the longest time, he was my ideal Batman.
He had the good jaw. He had the good body figure.
He had the build. Wow.
The build and everything. You know, all that, it's fun and all, but you know who's not fun? You know who's in the
Sometimes.
You know who's in the humdrum V?
Sometimes they're not fun and in the humdrum V.
Nintendo. Zelda's browser-based fan remake shut down by Nintendo. In this article, they said Dev will release it, though, without Nintendo's assets. However, earlier this week, a couple of hardcore Zelda fans put out a browser-based remake of the original The Legend of Zelda, made with voxels to commemorate the series' 30th anniversary. Now that the fan tribute has been removed due to Nintendo's issuing a copyright strike, Nintendo asked to remove Zelda 30 tribute from the interweb for copyright infringement. I guess it was a little too pixel perfect, said the developer Scott Lininger and Mike McGee on the project's page. Quote, "We said about that, but we get it. We started this project because we love Nintendo and the joy they have given us throughout the years. From the start of development, we knew that this result could potentially happen. Nintendo has every right to protect their IP. No complaints from us. We had a blast working on the tribute and made some friends along the way." They also said
they took it well.
Yeah, and they also said that they learned a lot.
Yeah, they took it well. Also, as Sancho stated, they're going to release it, but without all the Nintendo-ness of it. So probably just the legend of some guy.
The legend of some
legend of some lady that you save at the end.
You know what always bothered me is when people would like show pictures of Zelda and Link, they get their names.
Yeah, which I kind of did in the title just now. Yeah.
It never made any sense to me. Like, I think it was like the picture of a girl Link, like a Link, a cosplayer dressed as Link was like finally Zelda. As a girl. I was like, get all your facts straight. Get them all straight. So now we're going to continue up with this update on the Division and Destiny war that's continuing on this
Is
April
it a
12th.
war?
I don't know. It's
I think you're making it a war.
Yeah, make it a war. So we're going to go on with the Division update 1.1. That kind of reminds me of that part in Dredd. That guy's like, I want a war. You know what I'm talking about? Stallone's brother. You know
okay. I'm thinking of the wrong Dredd.
No, not the cool Dredd. The terrible Dredd. I am the law.
They're both awesome. Terrible.
Oh, not the new Dredd. The new Dredd's awesome.
Yeah, period. I thought they were both great.
So in this Division Update 1.1 Incursion Mission this article says that the Incursion mission is proving too tough for the lead developer. The Division Update 1.1 will deliver the first major incursion to Ubisoft's popular MMO shooter, will provide a challenge so difficult that the game's lead designer has unable to complete it yet. That's kind of cool. So the first of the 3 incursions is called Falcon Loss. And so this lead designer, Matthias Carlson, has revealed in a community podcast that all incursions will come at a difficult, hard setting which is said to be equivalent to the hardest difficulty called challenge mode on current missions. However, the challenge mode difficulty of an incursion is one grade higher still, Carlson said. Quote, I have not beaten it on challenge mode, or Falcon lost, Carlson claimed. Quote, it needs to have been beaten once by one team at the studio for it to be published, so just so we can know it can be done. That's cool. Yeah. I like challenging things, and if the developer... Now, other thing, I don't like cheap challenging things. You feel me? Like, I don't like it to be cheap. Like, I don't like the bosses just to have a lot of health.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Did you run into that a lot in Destiny?
Not in Destiny. It's what I'm playing this week.
Oh, okay.
Which I'll bring up then.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, that's how I felt about it.
On to Destiny. Destiny's April update. And the only thing that they brought up in their last Twitch stream was that PlayStation is getting exclusive gear. So sorry for all you Xbox guys. Destiny, the Taken King's big April update is right around the corner, and that means new things to do, new gear to earn, and a new higher light level, as we talked about previous. And the PlayStation blog, Disney Aficionado Diz, talked about what's going to happen. Quote, hey, PlayStation Nation, we're really excited to provide you with new things to do and new things to earn in the April update. The Reef is about to become the center of action in the game again, and the party wouldn't be the same without you. Our friends at PlayStation Blog have a lot of details to share about the exclusive content coming to Destiny. So there's new guns, new armor, new cosmetic.
Yeah, I think they're just slowly bringing out everything new that's going to happen with this
new
really big update. Possibly the last update. I don't think it's the last one, but a lot of rumor mongering is that it's going to be their last big update.
I hope so.
The sequel.
It's time to move on. Make Destiny 2. Do it.
Calm down.
Do it.
Hey, you're not playing it. You got no room to talk.
I'm not playing it. I just want you guys to fight. So speaking of space and Destiny, SpaceX has finally did it, Dr. Bacon.
Congratulations.
SpaceX reusable rocket lands on an ocean platform. Now, they've been trying this forever. In this article, for years. In this article in the BBC, the U.S. aerospace company SpaceX has successfully landed a reusable rocket on an ocean platform after 4 previous attempts failed. Mission controllers cheered as the Falcon 9 rocket remained upright on the platform off Florida. It was returning from delivering an inflatable habit into space for NASA. The inflatable room will attach to the International Space Station for a 2-year test and become a first such a habit for humans in orbit. So everyone's excited.
It's a habitat.
Sorry, habitat. You know what I was thinking about hamburgers. There's a place here called Habit, and speaking of hamburgers, it gets me excited. So yeah, they finally landed. Everyone was cheering USA, and everyone's excited. And SpaceX is kicking off to an awesome new era in reusable rockets. And the whole goal, for those of you guys don't know, is that they're going to do affordable private space travel. So that's going to happen.
I think we just start chanting USA for anything.
Just do, of course.
Affordable space travel. USA, USA, USA. Hamburgers at Habit. USA, USA,
USA. So we're going to go ahead and teach you guys on the weird news stories, the weird ones. Mm-hmm. The company behind the $499 NES is now making a gold-plated $5,000 NES. Analog, the company behind the $499 system, is making this awesome system all gold-plated, and it will be 24-karat gold, and they plan to sell it for $5,000. The company says it's making the gold-plated system to celebrate the 30th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda, which first hit Nintendo's Famicom in 1986. Analog says its gold analog NT will be limited to 10 units, and it's currently accepting reservations will require an email to the company. While the $5,000 price point is considerably steeper than the standard aluminum model, Analog says they will throw in a gold-colored The Legend of Zelda cartridge as part of the deal.
That's awesome. And I had to look into what this $499 NES was, because that's a lot. It's an aircraft grade aluminum that it's made with.
Good.
So it could take a drop, which is not to say you go around throwing your Nintendo.
Would you buy it if you had the money to blow? You can't even
Probably
imagine.
not.
You can't even imagine spending $5,000. Yeah. Have you seen $5,000? I haven't. Harold, at least you could, things could be worse for you, Dr. Bacon. You can be a congressman. Question over the campaign funds spent on Steam purchases, as happened today.
Well,
as happened this past week.
Yeah.
Federal election regulators are questioning a U.S. congressman over campaign funds spent on Steam games. Yes, that really happened. The San Diego Union Tribune reported Tuesday that Rep. Duncan D. Hunter, a Republican from California, listed $1,300 worth of video games on a campaign finance disclosure form as a personal expense to be paid back, but hasn't yet done so. A spokesman said Hunter's teenage son actually is the one responsible for the purchases. Getting hold of his father's credit card to buy one game. The rest here are unauthorized charges. Hunter said that the spokesman is trying to get charges refunded before repayment count. The same spokesman told the Daily Beast that he's unsure if the teen's original purchase was authorized. Whatever.
Hey, people have
steam. This is the same congressman that vapes.
Yeah.
All right, now it is time for the Checkpoint Rush.
What is the rush?
The Checkpoint Rush is the lightning round for all the kind of news and whatnot. It's like a blitz.
Oh, okay.
Headlines and whatnot. So, Kingsman 2 is coming down the pipe.
Correct.
And they have, what is it, Oberyn?
Oberyn Martell.
Yeah.
Yes, Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, he's going to be in it. Twitter's streaming deal with the NFL has reached an agreement, and that Twitter will live stream 10 Thursday night football games. That's pretty cool. Full games on your Twitter account.
So you're covering sporty stuff.
Sherlock's 4th season shooting begins.
Yay!
They're in production.
I am Sherlock.
Doom open beta begins April 15th. Season pass for multiplayer DLC is $39.99. Gears of War is going to come out October 11th. Edge of Tomorrow gets writers for its sequel.
2 prominent writers. I don't know who they are.
Which is Live, Die, Repeat. That was the
tagline
and then
for the first one.
The actual movie title. Like
in some countries. Yeah.
It's weird. Netflix to raise subscription prices from $7.99 to $9.99. Grandfather people would need to pay to get that HD bump up to $9.99. So you can stay at $7.99, or you get standard. Ghostbusters, the new Ghostbusters get the Funko treatment.
Yep.
Final Fantasy 15 collector's editions are going 3 times over the asking price on eBay.
Man,
crazy.
Crazy. You people give nerding a bad name. There's a special place in hell for people like you.
I know. Don't buy it if you're not going to use it.
Yeah.
Especially collector's editions. All right, we're going to talk about the BAFTA awards that happened this past week. These are just the awards, the British awards for video games.
Go for it, Sancho.
And here they go. The full list of winners follows. Artistic achievement is Ori and the Blind Forest. Audio achievement, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Best game, Fallout 4. British game, Batman Arkham Knight. Debut game, Her Story. Family game, Rocket League. Game design, Bloodborne. Game innovation, Her Story. Mobile and handheld, Her Story. Multiplayer, Rocket League. Music, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Original property, Until Dawn. Performer, Meryl Dandridge. Kate Collins, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Persistent game, Prison Architect. Okay. Sport. Best sport game, Rocket League. Best story, Life is Strange.
I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. I don't think I'll play it, but I've been hearing good things.
All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next level. That wraps up the weekly Checkpoint Save for your nerdy lives. Next level, again, is things that are going to come out in the future that maybe you might find interesting in. And, of course, Dr. Bacon put this together, so thank you for that. Let's go ahead. Barbershop, the next cut. Why did you put this in here?
Hey, you asked me to give you the movies. I gave you the movies.
It's been more than 10 years since our last appointment at Calvin's Barbershop. Calvin, played by Ice Cube, and his longtime crew, including Eddie, Cedric the Entertainer, are still here, but the shop has undergone some major changes. Most notably, our once male-dominated Sancho is now co-ed. The ladies bring their own flavor, drama, and gossip to the shop, challenging the fellas at every turn. Despite their good times and camaraderie within the shop, the surrounding community has taken a turn for the worse, forcing Calvin and our crew to come together for not only save the shop, but their neighborhood.
Aren't they always saving the neighborhood? I don't know. I haven't seen any of these movies.
Criminal.
I want to. I think they would. I would. Funny.
Moving on.
Yes.
Criminal. In a last-ditch effort to stop a diabolical plot, a dead CIA operative memories, secrets, and skills are implanted into an unpredictable and dangerous death row inmate, Kevin Costner. Did you put a Kevin Costner movie? This looks pretty cool, though.
It does look cool.
And then he will complete the operative's mission. Okay. I like Kevin Costner in Waterworld. I enjoyed him in Postman.
I liked him in Man of Steel.
Now, this was a movie worth putting down. The Jungle Book. Mowgli, a man cub who's been raised for a family of wolves, finds that he's no longer welcome in the jungle when fearsome tiger Shere Khan, voiced by Idris Elba, by the way, who bears the scars of man, promises to eliminate what he sees as a threat. Urged to abandon the only home he's ever known, Mowgli embarks on a captivating journey of self-discovery guided by panther-turned stern mentor Bagheera, voiced by Ben Kingsley, and the free-spirited bear Baloo, voiced by Bill Murray. Along the way, Mowgli encounters jungle creatures who don't exactly have his best interests at heart, including Cobb, voiced by Scarlett Johansson, a python whose seductive voice and gaze hypnotizes Man Cub, and the smooth-talking King Louie, voiced by Christopher Walken, who tries to coerce Mowgli into giving him the secret of the elusive deadly red fire. Now I'm looking. I'm excited. I heard there's really good reviews.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've only seen the one trailer, but I was really impressed.
Mowgli, I'm here to find fire.
That's a horrible Bill Murray.
This is Christopher Walken.
I know, that's how bad it is.
Oh, you're fired. Get out. I'll work on
That was actually not bad.
Hey, man, cub.
I was giving you the compliment so we'd move on.
Man cub.
Yeah, okay.
Where's fire? Oh, that's good. Hi, everybody. This is SanchoWest. In terms of gaming, terrible. Dark Souls 3 is the only big title coming down the pipe. The end is nigh. The final days are upon us as the blazes fade. Only burning embers remain. With an in-depth storyline, dubious surroundings, challenging experiences, Dark Souls 3 is the apocalypse incarnate. Do you know what it takes to survive the end of the world? Embrace the darkness with Dark Souls 3. And there's a collector's edition which includes the box, the Prima starter guide, game 10-inch, red knight statue, official soundtrack, cloth game map, and metal case. There you go.
That's interesting.
Dark Souls 3. Are you a big fan of Dark Souls?
No, you tried to get me into it.
I did.
And you did not tell me how brutal and unforgiving that game is. I could not get past the tutorial.
I remember
so
that
I
day.
quit.
I remember that day. I was like, hey, Dr. Bacon, you like this game. You get it.
Boy, were you wrong.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
I think it was just the wrong expectations were set. That's all.
And that's going to wrap up Lex Level. We're going to go ahead and talk about the old save, which is stuff that we've been up to, things that we recommend. All right, Dr. Bacon, let's go ahead and start this off. What have you been up to these days?
Well, Sancho, I watched the newest season of Bob's Burgers on Netflix.
Okay.
But I ran out of that very quickly because it's a great show. Binge watched it, and so ran out quickly. So off of what we talked about last week, I picked up Animaniacs. And I remember that there was a lot of adult humor in it, but I didn't realize how much adult humor. And it wasn't. And what I think is great about Animaniacs, of how it's able to stand the test of time, it's not adult jokes that kids didn't understand were adult jokes. They didn't get it, like, Rocco being a specific type of phone operator, but they were jokes that worked for kids that adults understood. There was an adult tone behind the joke, and I realized how many of those there were, especially with Slappy Squirrel, who is actually becoming one of my favorite characters now and in Animaniacs. So I'm enjoying that. And in terms of games, this week I have been playing The Evil Within.
Oh,
and you played that, right?
Yes, I beat it.
I think I'm almost to the end. That game is what I was talking about when it came to cheap stuff. The story is keeping me involved. I really want to see what's going on. I'm liking the twists and turns, but the camera work in this game is horrible.
Yep.
The melee mechanics are crap.
Yep.
Especially when I'm basically swinging like a blind drunk man, and a lot of the enemy AI, they hit me spot on each time. A lot of the bosses are one-hit kills, which I would be okay with if my melee was better. If there was if the mechanics were better, I'd be okay with it, but it just feels like a lot of the bosses, even regular enemies, are just really cheap OP characters.
Did you beat the spider chick?
Yes.
Okay.
I hated
that was a good boss fight.
It took me forever to figure out.
Yeah.
But I got that. But I did beat that. And another thing that's actually keeping me playing is the director is also the creator of the original Resident Evil and Resident Evil 4.
Right.
And this game is very Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in that, and with how much I loved Resident Evil 4, that's another thing that's keeping me going. I probably will still not like the mechanics, but because of the replay value that 4 had, if this game has that kind of stuff where I can go in and be OP and kill everyone, that'll help me feel better.
I'm telling you now, you're gonna hate the third act. The third act is a bunch of crap because
I'm past the bus.
you're gonna hate it because there's a bunch of insta deaths. I'm not telling you to stop playing. I'm telling you just.
Oh, I've been experiencing a lot of instant deaths.
No, it gets worse.
Like the weird.
It gets worse.
Wait. No, there's a spider chick, and then there's a huge spidery kind of thing, and there's the boss fight with the bus.
It gets worse. I'm just telling you, there's gonna be traps now where you could die. Enjoy.
Well, I kind of don't want to play it now.
What I've been playing, what I've been up to is.
And I hate the keeper.
Oh yeah, I know.
I think I finally. The pyramid head homage.
Yeah.
But I think I finally beat him. So if that's what you're talking about, because a lot of his stuff was one hit.
Third act. We'll talk about it. What I've been up to, I haven't really seen any movies lately. I've been watching a lot of shows because I've just been busy with a lot of the YouTube and stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, you've been really busy.
Good news is that I have been playing Ratchet & Clank. I will have the PlayStation 4 footage up tomorrow. You will probably see it by the time you see this podcast. So I have been playing Ratchet & Clank. I did play Dead Star for a long while. It was really cool getting into that. Those are the only two things I've been playing. But other than that, yeah, that's what I've been up to. Yeah.
So what's your recommendation for this week, Sancho?
My recommendation for the week, oh man, that's a tough one. Go, you go. You come back to me.
My recommendation for this week, last I checked, it was still on Netflix, but it was a Canadian TV show from 2010 or 2010, depending on how you like to pronounce it. Todd and the Book of Pure Evil. To give you a quick Cliff Notes version of what the show is about, it's about some high school kids. You've got your main character who finds the Book of Pure Evil, and for lack of better explanation, it's basically a rock version of the monkey's paw. So it'll grant you a wish, but of course there's repercussions, and so the main character and his gang, so Todd and the gang spend the episode figuring out a way to reverse this wish and or fight the demon which has been released because of said wish. It's a really funny show. Jason Mewes is in it. It's a really cheap show, which is okay. It's only 2 seasons. They were unfortunately canceled after they filmed their cliffhanger finale, but they had a Indiegogo campaign, and they're doing an animated movie, which is finally, hopefully, going to get released this year, so we can get some closure on what happens. But it's a funny show. Check it
out. Okay. I don't know if it's on Netflix, but since we're talking about Kevin Costner, I recommend the movie Tin Cup. That's all I'm going to say about that. That was our old save. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna go ahead and
I'm gonna stop doing that exit. I'm sorry.
We're gonna wrap up this show, and I really hope this comes together because this is our first video. Had a lot of start and stops. A lot of magic's gonna happen.
If you like it, let us know. If you prefer just audio,
no, we're still gonna do this. We're gonna perfect this.
I didn't say we weren't going to do it. I'm just saying if you prefer it, let us know.
We're about perfect.
Let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong.
We're going to get better. Again, if the audio version is going to be on SoundCloud.com/SanchoWest and on iTunes and for all this. And then this is the video podcast that will live on YouTube.com/SanchoWest. Thank you guys so much.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Don't forget to do that. That's very important. And we'll get better. This weekend has just been crazy for me. So thank you.
Yeah. If you have any questions... Yeah. Don't forget to tag your questions with #AskAmigos, and we'll answer it on the next podcast.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. This has been SanchoWest and Dr. Bacon, and this is the CheckPoint Amigos show. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, have a nice day, and woo, yeah. Peace. Adios, guys. Bye.
So do we do like the news now and pretend like we're doing other work? Okay.
Oh, someone's talking.